Hello all, and welcome back to this K-pop podcast. I hope you're all doing very well, and Happy New Year. In this K-pop podcast, we're going to be discussing ATEEZ's latest release, BTS and what's going on with them, and SM's girl groups, because I have a lot of feelings. So let's get on with the podcast. Firstly, ATEEZ's Halazia came out and it just blew me away. I mean, what a music video. I still don't get ATEEZ's lore, but I understand from the fandom that they've basically stuck to their space pirate concept since the beginning. And even as someone who doesn't get their lore, I love seeing them tell a story with the music video. And I want to point out that I think the only other groups that have really stuck with their lore for like a long time as well is enlightening and also TXT. I think they've kind of stuck with their lore, but I think enlightening is similar to ATEEZ in terms of since debut, they've stuck with the same lore. I think TXT slightly changed how their lore has developed because it started off with Can't You See Me and then it went to Star Seekers and Frost, which kind of changed a little bit. Yes, I really appreciate that ATEEZ are one of the few groups that have such a complex lore that they consistently stick to. I think that's really interesting. And like I said, I don't even get the lore, but I find it really cool and interesting and I want to know more. So that's really good on their part. And the music video for Halazia it's so cinematic and the choreography is great. I mean, it gave me the same feeling I used to get when watching BTS's older music videos, where you feel like you're watching something completely new and different. Which, well done ATEEZ for doing that. They're so busy. They're really seizing the moment. I love the fire that's lit under them and they don't let up with that energy. They're going full steam ahead and I'm just waiting for them to basically get on American TV and perform because I think people are going to just love them. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The gap in the market for a boy band at the moment is open and I still believe that Stray Kids are the runners-up to fill that spot in BTS's absence. But I think honestly, ATEEZ are like right behind Stray Kids. So Stray Kids, they are releasing 2 new albums this year. So I'm guessing early in the year and then later in the year. And also Stray Kids are releasing a potential, it's a collaboration, but we're all kind of guessing it's Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool collaboration. Stray Kids need to make sure that their music slaps this year because ATEEZ are not going to let up or just let them take the top prize, So good luck to them. I love this. I love this competition because that's what you kind of want in K-pop. I think if a group gets too lax and too comfortable in their position of being at the top or just being really popular and know that there's no other competition, they get lazy and they don't try as hard because they know that whatever they release is going to get millions of views and be a top seller. I definitely don't want to criticize BTS here because I am a BTS fan, so I'm allowed to say this, but I definitely think that BTS had reached that point where they knew that whatever they released, it would just become a huge hit. And I think that's why I say when Run BTS came out, that was wait, what the heck? You've had this energy the whole time and you just stopped doing that? So you could have been releasing songs like Run BTS this whole time over these past 2 years. Okay. What I'm trying to say is healthy competition between these groups. Everyone's doing such a good job in K-pop at the moment that everyone's on their top game and we're getting really good music, really good content. Actually, to the point where there's too much music and I can't get around to listening to everything. But I would much prefer that over basic music that I'm not that into. So well done ATEEZ for lighting a fire under Stray Kids. I mean, Stray Kids were already giving everything 100%, but I hope that this pushes them further. I hope everyone's scared. I hope everyone's really scared and everyone just performs like they're gonna disband tomorrow, because that's my favorite kind of energy. But yes, speaking of BTS, Big Bang's Taeyang, absolute legend. If you have not listened to at least Eyes, Nose, Lips or Ring-a-Linga, or even Big Bang's recent release Still Life, you do not understand the vocal talent that is Taeyang. And also, what a dancer as well. What a dancer. Taeyang and Jimin BTS's Jimin, were pictured in the studio together. And, the rumors are true that YG initially refused to confirm. Big Bang's Taeyang is releasing another solo album, and I'm sure his featured single will be with Jimin. Yes, this is honestly the collaboration of the year. I cannot believe it. If you go back and watch previous BTS footage, Taeyang is Jimin's hero. This must be amazing for him. He must be so pleased. And of course, ARMY will be rushing to listen to the track when it comes out. So Taeyang's also a marketing genius. Both of them have similar musical styles and voices, because you can definitely tell in BTS's early career that Jimin very much was influenced by Taeyang and Taeyang's vocal style, his performances. So this is why it's such an amazing moment. I won't be surprised if Taeyang ends up featuring on one of Jimin's album songs. I could see that happening, but we'll see. Taeyang's solo album will be released this month, I believe, in January. And I think because of this, probably it means that Jimin's solo album will be coming out also this year. And I think that Suga will be releasing his solo album next. And then RM, J-Hope and Suga. So basically the Hyung line will be enlisting this year. So the Mangne line will go next year. Jungkook's solo and V's solo will be the last things to be released, and then they'll enlist. That's just my guess. That's what I'm guesstimating. And speaking of Big Bang, the members have all basically signed on to different labels. So Taeyang is under the Black label, which is a subsidiary of YG, I believe. Taesung is signed with another label, and T.O.P is somewhere else. I mean, he's heading off to space with Steve Aoki and some other famous people, so good luck to him. I just want T.O.P to release more music. If you have not heard T.O.P's solo music as well, it's really good. Like Dum Dada, the music video alone is a work of art and amazing, and an homage to so many movies and art. It's really cool. They're artists. What can I say? G-Dragon has chosen to stay with YG, but don't worry, just like GOT7, and even I didn't realize Tiffany from Girls' Generation is signed to another label as well. It just kind of shows you that these days a lot of K-pop groups can still release music together, but be signed to different labels, which I find interesting. I don't quite know why they do it. It must be a case of like maybe they shop around to different labels, or different labels come to them and offer them a better contract than what their current label is giving them. It's obviously something like that. I just don't know which way it goes, whether the artist goes to the company or the companies come to the artist and ask kind of like, hey, we'll give you 20% of the profits rather than just 15%, which is what you're getting now, etc., etc. We'll give you more creative freedom, or you get more holidays, etc. Interesting. But yeah, GD has decided to stay in YG. So don't give up on a Big Bang comeback. It could definitely still happen. I mean, they could release a single at some point in life. I'm not going to give up. I made a prediction last year about, I had some K-pop predictions, and a Big Bang comeback and a G-Dragon solo was one of them. I got one of those wishes because Big Bang came back with Still Life. So this year G-Dragon has confirmed he's working on a solo album to be released this year. I'm so excited. I didn't think we'd get both a G-Dragon and a Taeyang solo in one year, but I'm definitely sure that they're both featuring in each other's albums. Definitely, like either GD will make Taeyang a song or he will feature in it, or both, to be honest. Just be prepared for like the high concept art in these music videos and prepare to be fed so much good music. I'm so excited for this year. There's so many comebacks. We are very blessed. Because don't forget, we're also getting that TXT comeback this month. It's going to be good. I just know it's going to be good. And once again, like I mentioned about lore and storylines, I can't wait to see what else TXT do in their continuation of that. And they nail their choreographies as well, so that will be great. And also NCT 127 are releasing their repackaged album very soon. Repackaged albums are always my favourite, especially when it comes to 127, so I could imagine that it's going to be very good. I also wanted to talk about the SM Town performances, the holiday Kwangya performance concert that they did. What did everyone think of GOT, Girls on Top? So what did you think of their single? They performed it because they're coming out with a debut album this month. They just released a Taeyeon and Karina photo together. They look great. But the song they released was called Stamp on It. I think everyone's got kind of a different opinion on Girls on Top, because some people didn't like their aggressive lyrics for their first song, Step Back. I didn't really care. I just kind of cared about the song, what it sounded like, was it catchy, etc. I have heard other people kind of complain and say that they're just a less successful female version of Super M. I can understand people having that criticism because they were made because of Super M. But then before Super M, if you remember, there was Max Step, which also consisted of dancers from different SM groups together in one unit. I know everyone else forgot about them, but I didn't. SM does this kind of thing. But what did you think of Stamp on it? Personally, I thought it was okay. I will be checking out what the rest of their album sounds like when it comes out, because I don't think that they're bad singers. They're all pretty darn good. So it's just that thing of like, whoever's producing the music, are they doing a good job? We can't say like Taeyang can't sing or Wendy can't sing. Like, of course they can. And of course they're good with the choreography as well. So it just kind of depends if you like their concept. You know what it is? I think it's unfair to criticize them to the extent of Super M, because Super M had way more time for them to get in sync. Like, they had more songs released, more time. I think Super M finally gelled right at the end, right at their last song release. So that's kind of like how long it took for them to become a succinct group. So I think Girls on Top, this is like their second song they just released. So it does still feel a bit awkward. They don't feel like a team to me. Like, they don't feel like a group who's known each other forever. But it's because they are just like colleagues at the moment. And that could grow. The chemistry between them could grow. I need to listen to the song some more. It didn't immediately grab me, like, for instance, New Jeans' Ditto did the first time I listened to it. But let's see. I'm still hopeful to get into Girls on Top. I mean, I do think overall, if I'm comparing them to the other SM girl groups, I think they work for me more than Aespa has. And I do want to talk about Aespa because one of my New Year's resolutions was to like really get into Aespa. But I just think that SM don't know how to manage them. I've really tried to love Aespa. I really want to get into them. I like all the SM girl groups, but it's just not clicking for me. And I kind of want to know if you, the listener, feel the same way. Like, how do you feel about Aespa? I really enjoyed their teasers for their debut, and I was excited to see a strong, powerful girl group come out of SM. And to be honest, like, SM do have great girl groups. I loved FX. I love Girls' Generation, Red Velvet. Well, Red Velvet's earlier music. Russian Roulette, Happiness are my favourite songs, although Something Kinda Crazy is a sleeper hit and I highly recommend that song. I mean, recently with Red Velvet, I think SM are doing that thing where they're far too comfortable giving Red Velvet mediocre music because they know that they can sell the fans on the Red Velvet name alone. Red Velvet are just so popular, kind of like what I mentioned before, the group is so popular in name and brand, because obviously the members are really stunning, etc., that SM are just kind of giving them mediocre music because they don't care, like they'll sell the albums regardless. And I think that shows, especially with the collaboration between Aespa and Red Velvet for the Kwangya holiday concert. It felt like it was an SM tactic to try and piggyback Red Velvet's fans and get them into Aespa without doing the hard work of like organically growing Aespa's fan base via good music production. And speaking of Red Velvet, I don't like that SM are seemingly losing interest and working hard to give Red Velvet their utmost attention and care, because the members deserve it. Like, I'm a fan of Red Velvet when SM cared about them. They had like really cool concepts. They were the it girls. It's a shame. I don't like them just being used by the company for their popularity. And I hope it's not an ageist thing either, because that's annoying. Red Velvet are perfectly capable of performing for more years to come. They're like the same age as Twice, roughly. And look how hard they're still going. I mean, they just re-signed their contracts. They're not stopping. They're releasing a new English single track this month. I'm sure they'll be performing that in America. Look out, American World Tour, American talk show appearance performances. The album is coming out in March, so, stay tuned for Twice. But yes, I could go on about the mismanagement of Red Velvet and how badly I want them to be back in that prime era, where they were the it girl trendsetters, and it makes me sad. There was a lot of controversy with their recent album release, the Riri Festival. It made the news because fans of Red Velvet were genuinely annoyed that SM had barely advertised the group's comeback. Even I didn't realize it was a full-blown comeback. I thought it was just a fan meeting event they were advertising, which is, insane. This is Red Velvet and we didn't even know an album was coming out. And as for Aespa, SM are doing like the complete opposite. They're pouring loads and loads of money into promoting Aespa, especially in America. They performed at that like American Music Festival and Good Morning America, etc. SM are the ones who have all the data and analytics, the profit numbers to show Aespa's success. Like, is it proportional with the money that they're putting in to advertise and push Aespa in the States and abroad? Personally, for me, I want to know your opinion, what you think of Aespa, but like something's not clicking, and it's not the girls. I want to reiterate, the girls, the members, they're doing just fine. They're like NCT 127 to me. It's that thing of like, they're talented, they're stunning, they can do everything. They're in like the top 1% of idol trainees. They're not the problem. It's SM who don't know what they want to do with the group. They're not marketing the group properly to reach that full potential, because SM are stuck. They want Aespa to be like Blackpink, this baddie girl group, but then they also want Aespa to be like KDA. If you've heard of KDA, KDA have good music, but they're not real. They're like synthoids. Aespa's concept and aesthetic has definitely been influenced by KDA, but then SM also don't know if they want Aespa to be like Red Velvet. So it's like a mismatch of music, style, and concepts, and it's making Aespa feel like a weird, loose, mismatched brand image. You really need something tangible these days to identify with a group. There needs to be a core image there, especially with how many K-pop groups are debuting left, right, and center. You need a strong brand and a strong image and vision. It's kind of like Coca-Cola or McDonald's. They're popular because you know what product you're purchasing. You know the quality and the feeling and satisfaction you're going to get from the product you're buying. And I think recently New Jeans have been really nailing this. You know their brand. Young, fresh, easy listening. That is New Jeans' concept. You can identify that throughout their music videos and their music. That's what I think K-pop is becoming more, just because there's so many groups. You need to be very quickly identifiable as a group. If you have a sort of blurry, unanchored brand, it's not that interesting to people because they can't pinpoint you. They don't know what to expect from you. And not in like an interesting way, in like I don't think that group's my style because I don't get their music. Even groups who don't seem to have a concept have a brand. There's like a difference between concept and brand. As long as you have a specific brand, you can try different concepts. Like EXO, for instance, their brand, what you're getting with EXO are impeccable harmonies and vocals. That's what you remember from their music. And then watching their performances, you remember Kai. Kai at the front doing stunning facial expressions. That's them. 80s, crazy EDM style. They have a feeling of being like a ragtag, almost messy group. And that's their unforgettable brand. But I can't tell you what Aespa's brand is, except really pretty girls. I think SM want them to be futuristic. I think that's the goal, but SM don't stick and go hard on that concept. Since futuristic comes to mind with Aespa, go for that. Don't hold back. Make that whole thing futuristic. Make the music futuristic, the style futuristic, the album concepts. Let Aespa be the group of the future. Put synth sounds in, auto-tune, robots. That will be so different and fresh, game-changing as a girl group. And I think also the problem is SM don't let Aespa connect with people, with audiences. They don't humanize the girls. I think they've instructed the girls to just be pretty and stand there. Don't express a lot, don't emote a lot, don't show a lot of your personality. And I think that that's the wrong way to go. I think they're doing that because they assume that's what Blackpink are like. YG hardly let Blackpink do a lot of behind the scenes vlogs and things like that. Like if you realize the members kind of put out things once in a while of them talking or whatever, because Blackpink are kind of this mystique. They're mysterious, the girls, you can't get close to them, but then you also feel like you know them when you're watching them. It's very opposite to something like Twice. Twice are like the extremely like, hey, your friend's next door. That's what Twice feel like. And Blackpink are like the opposite, but both work, both methods work. And SM don't know which way to go and they're flip-flopping with Aespa. And I just think go for one or the other, go for it. Select your method of marketing these girls and go for it. Because it's not fair on them. Like I said, they're very talented girls and there's a reason why they got to debut. I'm just frustrated frustrated with SM not marketing and not managing them properly, because I think they could be a hugely popular girl group. Definitely. It's just, once again, SM twiddling their thumbs, and it's just frustrating to watch. It's wasted potential. But I do believe that SM will figure out what to do with Aespa. It just takes time. So that's kind of something we should all look forward to this year. But I will say that it's a bit interesting that Le Sserafim have debuted, because I think Le Sserafim are what SM wanted Aespa to be like, but because SM can't manage people, Hybe did it. Hybe's done it again. Hybe keep winning every single time. Hybe made a group that SM wanted their group to be like, and it's like, if Hybe can do it that easily, SM, come on, you do it too. It's not hard. I think they just need to get their market research in order again and figure out what people want. I think SM tries so hard to be trendsetters instead of actually listening to what people want. The higher up creatives believe that they know what people want, and like, I'll show you. We will show you what music you want. We will show you what concepts you want. Sometimes it works and sometimes it's a mess. That's why I get really frustrated even with the way NCT 127, their music is handled and their concepts. It's frustrating. I love NCT, big fan, but I get so frustrated. Why would you come out with Sticker? I know I'm going to start this whole Sticker debate, but like, Sticker was really weird, and I'm so annoyed that they chose Sticker to be their main single to go and promote in America with. No. When you go and promote in America, you should release a song that is anyone who's not into K-pop can listen to and enjoy. And there is no way you can tell me that a non-K-pop fan and a majority of non-K-pop fans can listen to Sticker and enjoy it. It's a very signature NCT 127 song, I get that, but you don't go with the extremely experimental song to market a group that you want to become huge in America. That's not the way you do it. I think Lemonade was the better choice if you had to choose something from that album. Way more people would have liked Lemonade. Yes, it's the safer song, but it's definitely the more palatable song that you first lure people in with. Give them the palatable music, and then you can release these kinds of experimental songs, which are fine because you've built that fan base who will listen regardless. So it's a bit frustrating. I think they did a better job with Two Baddies, but I still am not sure if it was a big hit in America compared to like SM expected. SM expect for these songs to like blow up, and then they don't, and then SM assumes that it's the group's fault. And Taeyang has said this. He said that the managers have said to him, if 127 fails, if NCT fails, it's your fault. So it stresses them out as well, which is why I get annoyed with SM. Stop stressing out your members and give them better music and market them better. NCT 127 should be way more successful and bigger than they are. Same as Wavy as well, but we're not going to talk about Wavy right now because I'll save that for another episode. What I'm just trying to say with all my gripes with these groups, it's honestly not the members. I have nothing against them. They're doing the best they can do. It's the labels. It's the marketing that annoys me. That's it for this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have anything to add to this conversation, if you agree, then let me know down in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!